All right, man. Welcome back. We got another episode of Inspired by True Event Sports Podcast here. Got my boy Kenny, Phil, and Neil. How y'all doing today?
Can't complain at all.
Hey, we got some big upsets this week. I'm really excited for this episode.
Crazy week.
Playoffs are getting close.
Before we start, I just would like to tell everybody I completely understand that last week I had some wild takes and not one thing I said was correct, but I am a man of my word and I will stand by it and I will take my lumps.
Hot
and
take, Kenny.
I deserve all the crap that will be talked to me, and I accept it all.
I don't. we're gonna get to one of those hot takes, but Phil, what we looking like for the pick'ems for last week, man, overall.
So in last we have Neil still under 500 at 7-8, and we have Kenny in third, surprisingly at 8-7.
Damn, Kenny.
And in first place, me and Lawrence are tied at 10-5.
Oh man!
Wow.
Hey, last week I needed
Falcons and Chargers.
That'll do it to us, Kenny.
It's literally those two games right there, Neil.
Yeah. Well, wait, Lawrence picked the Chargers too.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers, but I could afford to do that because I'm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, he had a lead.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, we got some big games. We got some games that are exciting for me because I get to talk shit to my friends. And then we got obviously Neil and Phil's team going at it this week. The repeat of the Super Bowl there. So we're gonna start it right off. Let's go to the Ravens and the Browns. Who do you got for the Ravens and Browns this week?
I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I think right now Baker is on fire. I ain't seen Baker play like this since college, to be honest with you. That offense, as soon as OBJ left offense, as crazy as it sounds, as soon as OBJ left that offense, they started to click. I don't know what it is, if it was like that Baker felt pressure to give OBJ the ball, but I think what it really did was it let them run the ball a little bit more. I mean, they have Kareem Hunt, who people forget was a monster when he was on KC, and Nick Chubb, who may be a top 3 rusher in the league right now. So I'm gonna go Cleveland. It's gonna be close. I'll go Cleveland by 3, but I don't think Baltimore has it, and I don't even know who's playing for Baltimore anymore. I literally don't know who's on the team.
They're all back from COVID.
They're all
back.
Yeah, they're back and forth. They're back and forth.
Except for Dez.
Dez got
He's
pulled
not
off
playing
the
football
field.
anymore.
Yeah, Dez got pulled off the field and got tested today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland by 3.
All right.
I'm gonna go Cleveland as well, just because of Nick Chubb. Pretty much ever since he's gone back from that injury, he's played just as well as Derrick Henry and Delvin Cook. He's averaging almost more as close as yards per carry as them, and he's just been carrying the offense from the Browns. So I have him having another monster game, maybe 115, 120 all-purpose yards. So probably Browns by a touchdown this week.
All right.
I love Nick Chubb. I love everything he brings to that team. They are a complete different team when he's in and when OBJ is out. But I'm not picking the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore Ravens.
You staying to it. You sticking to your guns.
I'm sticking to it. I mean, yeah. I'm not a believer in the Browns. They gotta prove it to me with the season before I believe in them, and I'm just not doing it. And I will put my money on. What was that, Phil?
First winning season in a while.
Oh yeah, definitely first winning season in a while. That's why I don't trust them. Let's go Baltimore.
Let's go Baltimore.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with man, this is tough. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Baltimore here. I think they're a bit more, obviously they're not desperate, but obviously it's crunch time to where they need to get a win, and especially divisional will be good for them. And they're obviously playing right now against the Cowboys. So if they win that game, they'll be up to 7-5 at that point. And then
yes, sir.
Then Sunday coming up would be. Are they playing this Sunday?
Okay.
You guys know?
Yeah. It's not a primetime game. I don't believe.
I think it's either Monday night or Sunday night.
Okay, so yeah, definitely.
It's Monday night.
Monday. Okay, so they got time. They got time to recover. And they already had those guys that were out kind of had a rest anyway already. So I think they'll bounce back and they'll go to 8-5. Then that makes things much more interesting with the AFC North. So I'm gonna take the Ravens by 4.
If they beat the Cowboys tonight, we'll see.
And another thing for the Browns, I think, which is interesting, they say OBJ, but how long was Nick Chubb out for?
4 weeks or 6 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 to 6, yeah.
And that was the kind of the span when Baker kind of started opening up a bit more.
Yeah, but you can look historically. Even Baker's rookie season was better than when OBJ was there for the full season last year. So there is something to be said for when OBJ is out of the lineup, Baker does look better. I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. No, I was about to say I just want to look at everything because that could be a thing where he gets more opportunities.
More of the playbook.
Yeah. So going from there, we got another big game. We got the Vikings and the Bucks. That's going to be a really huge game. If the Vikings win, they will currently be in, I believe.
They're in right now.
They're in right now.
They're in right now because of the Cardinals losing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they're in right now. Then that will bump them to what, the 6th seed, or
They're
they'll be
7 right now. Yeah, so
and it'll be 5th or 6th. They'll jump up to. So I think this is going to be a big, huge game. I'm going to be watching this one. I'm not sure what time it is. I like to watch multiple games at once anyway, outside of watching my own team. So who you got now for this game?
I like the Bucks in this game. I don't think the Vikings are that good. Besides Dalvin Cook, I don't think the Vikings are that good. I mean, Justin Jefferson, obviously we know we're a huge fan of him on this podcast. That dude is a monster. He's a beast. I think it's getting close to the time where Tom Brady needs to. He's got to show out. He's got to shut everybody up, and he's going to have to start to play well. It's getting close to his time, playoff season, all that stuff. He needs to get in the playoffs. He needs to stay in the playoffs. So I'm going to say this is a statement game for the Bucks, just because they're beating a playoff team. The Vikings are a playoff team right now. So I'm going to go Vikings, or I'm going to go Bucks 27. I'm going to go Bucks 30-27.
30-27.
Yep.
So you saying about the over?
Oh yeah. There's no defense in that game.
I know it. No defense.
No defense in that game.
No defense.
There's no defense in that game. Besides the Bucks D line, what else they got?
I'm. Go ahead. Who's next?
Bucks as well.
Bucks?
Tom Brady's gonna need to, try to do whatever he does to try to prove everyone wrong and such, sweep the whole narrative, everything, this whole repeated cycle. They do bad, prove himself, bad, prove himself, that whole 9 yards and stuff. But it's probably going to be a really close game, even though a lot of people expect the Bucks to win by a good amount. Brady's probably going to have maybe 250, not like go up like everyone expects him to against a suspect Vikings secondary. So I have the Bucks winning by 4.
I just have one question for you guys. You like that?
You like that?
In the Minnesota Vikings. Skull, baby.
Let's
go.
Me and Kenny on the same page. NFC
Delvin,
South.
exactly.
We need them out of here. Tom Brady, you're exposed.
Yes,
this is
exactly.
the game that exposes you for the fucking system
fraud
quarterback
that you are. Yes, exactly. I used that word again. But Dalvin Cook is going to have a great day. Okay, you want to shut down Justin Jefferson? We'll go to Adam Thielen. Okay, you want to shut them both down? We have 2 good tight ends in Irv Smith Jr. and Kyle Rudolph. Oh, you want to just shut down our pass game? We'll just hand the ball to our workhorse, Dalvin Cook, who does nothing but eat yards and score touchdowns. I don't see the Buccaneers winning this game. It'll be a close one, but I think that the Vikings win by 4.
Vikings are going to keep doing what they've been doing. They're around in the fourth quarter and they come out on top. That's what's going to happen. They've been doing it for how many weeks? I think it was 3 out of the 5 their last 5 has been where they get down to the last possession, they score to win the game.
Yep.
So I think the Vikings win this game, not only because I think they will, because I don't like the Bucks. I don't like Tom Brady. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm tired of hearing about him. It's been great that they've been on a bye week so they cannot talk about him. Because if they could have talked about him on the bye week, they would have, to be honest.
I do have Dalvin in fantasy, so it's kind of
Vikings are one of the hottest teams in football right now. They started off 1-5. They're 6-6. They've been 5-1.
Yeah, they're rolling.
So I like the Vikings this week.
Yeah. So going from there, man, let's get right into it. We got the Steelers and the Bills. Huge game.
Huge game. And this is what's crazy right now is the Steelers are a 2.5-point underdog right now, and they're 11-1.
Well, Buffalo's 9-3, and they're one play away from being 10-2. So it's not like they're playing against a crap team.
They're also one call away from being 9-4 as well, or 8-4.
What play is that?
The pass interference call against the Rams. That shit was bullshit. Anyways, I'll start us off here. Buffalo. This is the first Sunday night football game.
You couldn't help yourself.
I'm just saying. Kenny had to bring it up. Why can't I bring it up?
You couldn't help yourself.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There's 90 plays on each side of the ball. We can go back to that episode. I said it then. I'll say it again.
This is
flashback.
You're muted right now.
Yeah, your mic's off.
This is the first Sunday night football game that the Buffalo Bills have hosted since 2007. They hosted that game and they lost 56-10. You can see why. You can see why NBC doesn't put Buffalo on Sunday night. They haven't been good in a while. They've been good the past couple of years. I think Buffalo's blazing hot right now. Josh Allen had his best game of the year last week, or really a couple of days ago. They're good. They're really good. Pittsburgh's good, but they're frauds.
They're frauds?
Pittsburgh are fraudulent. They haven't beat
in the first degree, second degree, or third degree?
First degree frauds.
So they with you
all year. They haven't beat a team all year.
So they with you.
They beat the Ravens twice. They beat the Browns. They beat the Titans.
They beat the Browns once, right?
Yep.
Right. They only played them once.
Yeah.
7-9, 8, whatever it was.
I'm gonna go Buffalo here. I'm gonna go Buffalo by 7 touchdown, and I think Buffalo's gonna do good on their November 2007 Sunday night game where they got smoked 56-10.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, even though I do agree that it's gonna be a very close game. But I mean, Pittsburgh. I don't believe Pittsburgh are frauds. I mean, should they have won a certain amount of games? I mean, should they have won by a larger margin some games? Sure, but that's football. If you get the W, you get the W no matter what. And that's been Pittsburgh's playing by the last couple of years. They've played down to the competition no matter who it is, no matter how good you are. Like the Chiefs down to the Raiders, Broncos, and Jags. They've always played down to how they play. So I see Pittsburgh maybe in like a low-scoring game since, both teams are trying to go for a shootout. It's one of those unexpected games. So I have the Steelers winning by a late field goal.
All right.
Taking Pittsburgh as well. I think that people are overreacting to Pittsburgh's loss because we have to remember that the Washington football team, they're 5-7, but they're in a tie for first place in their division. And that defense is a top 10 defense. And Alex Smith is no slouch at quarterback. So it's not like they lost to the New York Jets. Like, let's keep that in mind. Like, Washington might be playing playoff football this year. So if Pittsburgh ends up being their only loss is to a playoff team, are we really going to say that they're a bad team because they lost one time in December to a playoff football team? I can't say that. So I'm going with Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if Pouncey is going to be back, but they were missing a lot of guys, not even just, Bud Dupree. They're missing Pouncey. They're missing Connor. They're missing another offensive lineman. So that team gets healthy. I'm not worried about Pittsburgh.
So you guys all took Pittsburgh?
Not me.
And he took Buff.
I took
So I'm after what I saw last night, I'm taking Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, man.
It's my boy Lawrence.
Like if they go in, if they can run the football a little bit more with the running backs, they'll be very difficult to beat. They need to, I think, lessen up the carries on Josh Allen to save his body a little bit more through games, because they kind of just have running backs out there to like lead block for him. I would be pissed at being a running back on that team. No way in hell. But I think this game probably comes down to if Josh Allen can take care of the football, no fumbles, no interceptions. If he can do that, I think they win it by at least a touchdown. I think that's
tough. That's tough to do against that Pittsburgh defense.
I know.
Turnover machines in that secondary.
I know, but
I mean,
if he can do that, then I think it's very possible.
So a lot of the Pittsburgh's defensive success comes off of the blitz. They blitz probably more than any top 5, maybe more than any team in the NFL. The thing about Buffalo is Josh Allen is better under the blitz. He's 5-0 when he gets blitzed multiple times in a game and has 300, and he averages 304 yards and 2 touchdowns per pass. And that's off the blitz.
But he hasn't seen T.J. Watt coming at him in a blitz, and he hasn't had Minka Fitzpatrick patrolling back there on the blitz. So I get what you're saying, but this is a very unique type of defense. This isn't your typical blitz defense where you just have a good front 7 or you just have a good secondary.
They're blitzing for a reason.
Exactly. Like they can blitz you, and you're gonna throw it up there, but they have ball hawks in the secondary. It's not like they're leaving you in an island and there's no one back there.
And if they have John Brown back, which I think he's going to be coming back this week, that'll be really big. And nobody's guarding Diggs right now.
Nobody.
He's heavily slept on. He
crazy.
ran 4 hitch routes in a row for a first down last night.
Can't guard him. His footwork is crazy.
Do anything about it. Couldn't do anything.
John Brown was the X factor last year in this Steelers Buffalo game. So John Brown's back, like you said, that is going to be a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And a plus for them.
For sure.
And I think it was precaution too. Yeah, it was precaution too for them to I think pretty much put him on IR. I guess he needed time off because he was like literally limping every game he played in. But going from there, man, we got the Eagles and the Saints.
Favorite game of the week?
Nah, not my favorite game of the week. Not my favorite. Nah, I wouldn't say that. So who you got now? Who you got for this? For the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think this game is gonna show a lot for Philadelphia in general. I think if Jalen Hurts comes in here and tosses the ball around and throws for a couple touchdowns, has a good passer rating, doesn't turn the ball over, I think it's gonna be time for Carson Wentz to be out of there. And I don't think it's gonna be a cut. We lost his contract type of thing. I think they're gonna end up trading for him. Somebody's gonna want him. I mean, look at the quarterback situation around the league right now. Somebody's gonna want that dude. He's not a scrub. We all know that. He is not bad. He's just, I don't know if he's the right fit for Philly right now. Mm-hmm. Like for example, just throwing it out there, imagine Carson Wentz and Bill Belichick's offense. Like that man would strive, and I think that would be the best location for him to go. I think it's gonna be New Orleans by a landslide here. Honestly, I don't really think the Saints are going to have any issue here whatsoever. Taysom Hill, he tears up defenses that aren't good. I mean, he struggled against Denver's defense, but they have a top 10 defense. I think he's going to tear up this Philly defense, and I don't think Jalen Hurts is acclimated enough to do much. So I'll go New Orleans 20. I'll go Philly 10. See you later, Carson Wentz.
I'm going to go with New Orleans as well, because this season so far we saw another rookie make their debut this year against a very tough defense, and the LA Rams. We saw how well that went, but I don't see the same instance happening this time around, because Saints are way too experienced, and basically that defense is really different this year. Maybe top 2, top 3 in the league, tops. Plus Taysom Hill is week by week he's getting more acclimated with the offense. He threw his first touchdown pass of his career last week. So he's only getting better from here. So I have them winning 23-13.
Kenny, let's hear it, baby.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, brother.
Philly.
Honestly gets you far in life.
Philly.
Get the hate out your heart.
Listen. I despise them, but I'm not going to disrespect them and say they're going to lose to Jalen Hurts in his first start.
Can't do it.
No, yeah. New Orleans is going to win this game. It might not even be close. Like, this might be a game that you put on and you hope that Red Zone doesn't flip back to it after the first quarter because it's so boring. I don't think that this is going to be a good one at all. I think all the fans that were begging for Jalen Hurts, I feel like Doug Peterson also too. He might purposely be throwing Jalen Hurts into the fire against his defense so that he looks like crap and he can say, "This is what you guys wanted." Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm not a believer in Jalen Hurts. I'm not a believer in Philly. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be ugly.
You think if he does bad, they're going to put Wentz right in, or just going to let him be? I
think Jalen Hurts is in for the game. I think he's in for the game. I think Wentz will dress, but I don't think Wentz is going to play.
Yeah, no, I don't think you could do that because what's tough too when you have a rookie quarterback, once you go to them, you can't really go off of them anymore. You kill their confidence. Like I don't know if Carson Wentz era is over, but we'll talk about it more later. But it's tough to go back on it now.
You guys already know I'm gonna pick the Saints. For my special place in my heart that the Eagles struggle to even come into New Orleans or even play against them. The last 6 times they played, including playoffs, they've only beat us once. Once was in 2015. So Eagles don't stand a chance, and every time they play the Saints, they struggle. So I'm good on the Eagle. I can't wait for the notifications after the first down in the game on Twitter. Look at that, Lawrence. You like the Saints? Look at our first down. We haven't had one since week 3. But last but not least, yeah, I know Kenny's gonna pick on this, but we got the Patriots and the Rams. Is this the first meeting since the Super Bowl or no?
Yep.
First meeting since the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go first on this, and then we'll let
then I'll go, and then we'll let them close.
Them decide what it's gonna be. It was all because of Bill, man. I'm going with the Patriots. Play action jet sweep is not gonna work against a defensive-minded coach that is a wizard in this shit. It's not gonna work. Your offense has not changed since that Super Bowl. I think the game comes down to a field goal. I think like Phil said, Nick Folk for the win. 40 plus with wind.
And then wind in a dome. Okay.
Oh wait, where y'all playing?
It's in LA. But okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, y'all got a dome?
It's indoor.
Yeah, the Coliseum.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
New stadium this year. Where you been at, bro? You didn't watch Hard Knocks?
I'm not watching the Rams. I'm not watching them. Like, what am I watching? Why would I watch a team with more than 2 losses, man? Come on, man. Nah, but Kenny, go ahead, man. I got the Patriots by a field goal. That's what I got.
Rams, easy.
Give me a score, Kenny.
You want to score?
Yeah, I want to score.
31-20 Rams.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Lawrence, about Bill being a wizard, but Sean McVay is also a young offensive wizard, so he now has seen Bill Belichick. So I think that's going to help him as well. And as far as saying the offense hasn't changed since the Super Bowl, I got to disagree. There's no more Todd Gurley there. It's completely different. The offense was literally built around Todd Gurley, who then couldn't play in the Super Bowl because he had bad knees. So yeah. I'm going to have to disagree there. So I'm going with the Rams, and I think they won by 2 possessions. Also, too, because I don't think that the Patriots are going to be lucky enough where Cam Newton can throw for less than 100 yards again and win a game. I mean, he's been doing it, but that luck's got to run out. You can't keep doing that. You cannot keep throwing for less than 100 yards and win games.
Bill, you want to go off on the last?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. I mean,
wait, no, before you go, what was the score the last time y'all played?
We scored 3 points. It was 3-13 or whatever. I don't know. Listen, I don't.
No, I just had that.
Listen, this is coming from
I was
Mr.
just
Here
asking.
Now. Is this?
I was just asking.
Right, Mr. Week to Week fan, bringing up some old stuff, just like you brought up the last 6 times we played Philly. But I thought we lived week to week on this podcast.
Every time we bring something like that, he says, "But what about what's happening now?" Yeah, exactly.
Yo, listen, you're okay. You're tripping.
Right.
Mr. Week to Week, and he's talking about 2 years ago when your
Kenny,
offense isn't even the same anymore.
Kenny, stay out of this.
Nope.
Kenny, stay out of this.
You're not going to talk like that to my friend.
This has nothing to do with you. All right?
You're not going to talk like that to my friend.
So if Jared Goff has a quarterback rating above 75, which I mean that's a little bit above average for a quarterback in the NFL. 75 is pretty good.
What is that stat wise?
It all differs.
It really doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. QB ratings, but anyways, the Rams are 8-1 if Jared Goff has a quarterback rating above 75. Can he get a quarterback rating above 75 against Bill Belichick's defense? That's the question here. I don't think, and I don't hope Sean McVay puts Jared Goff in the situation where he's going to have a quarterback rating that high to win this game. I hope that we run the ball because our running game right now is on fire. Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson 1-2 punch right now is real good, like real good. And I don't think the Patriots can beat us with a quarterback that has more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns.
Not even close. 11-4,
Yeah,
something
it's
like
11-4.
Woo! And
Yeah,
6-6.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's
They're
bad.
wait, are they 6-6 right now?
Yep, 6-6.
The Patriots are, yeah.
Yeah,
And the
it's
Patriots,
impressive. That's impressive.
I also think that seeing Brian Flores earlier this year is going to help Sean McVay a little bit. That's who he had to face in the Super Bowl. So I think he's going to see that Bill Belichick's going to copy a little bit of the defense from Brian Flores, or Brian Flores copied some from Bill Belichick. Either way, it's in Sean McVay's head. Plus, everybody's thinking the same thing. Like Lawrence is thinking, Sean McVay put up 3 points with a way better offense back in when they played us in the Super Bowl. You don't think Sean McVay's thinking about that? You don't think Sean McVay has been he's been awake since that Super Bowl I don't think he slept since then, to be honest with you. That's a nice background, by the way. I like that. It's easy to pick the Patriots here, by the way. It's real easy to pick the Patriots here. I almost swung that way and almost did pick the Patriots here, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to come on this podcast and shock everybody and say Patriots by 1. I just don't think the offense can get by that defense. But I'm going to go to Rams, man. I got to go with the Rams, baby.
You got a score?
That's my squad, baby. I got to go with the Rams. Yeah, I got to score for you. Yeah, I got to score for you. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be 14-10 LA Rams. Plus, New England hasn't left LA. New England has not left LA. I think that hurts them.
Very smart. You say you think that hurts them?
I think it hurts them, yeah. I think it's going to throw everybody off schedule. That's what I think. Not a lot of teams are built that way. They have a routine. I think staying out in LA is gonna throw off a lot of players' routine.
Well,
what do you mean? Like this whole week?
Yeah, they didn't come back because they just played in LA.
Yeah.
But this is Thursday night game, by the way, folks. This is a Thursday night game. So they just played Sunday. They're playing Thursday.
So you got the Rams winning by
14-10.
14-10? Got you 4. So obviously, since we're facing Neil's Rams, I have some stats on my own to throw out. Hold on.
Oh yeah, let me get
Stat
some stats.
man.
I love stats. Let me hear it.
Okay. So far, Jared Goff against the AFC, he only played against 2 teams, the Bills and Dolphins. So the AFC East, he's thrown 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So pretty balanced there. And he's had a 81 QBR. So he's been average against the AFC this year. So we can't tell who he's going to be this weekend. Either the great Jared Goff, the bad Jared Goff, or right in the middle. And then let's see. Oh, the Rams are ranked 6th in giveaways. They've given up 10 picks and 10 fumbles. So it's possible that they could have another turnover-filled game. And the Patriots are also ranked 11th in takeaways. So it's possible that you can see J.C. Jackson pick one off. Maybe Chase Winovich gets a strip fumble. So it's possible that the Rams could struggle against the Patriots defense, who's been very underrated this year.
We got a new stat man out here. Wait a minute.
Right.
Step your game up.
Better hope they turn him over.
That's the game plan. And just some unnecessary stats, just as Neil throws out week by week. The Patriots lead the official series 9-5, so they have some type of mental advantage.
2 Super Bowl wins too.
Against the Rams.
2 Super Bowl wins
also.
Real estate.
Yep. Patriots outscored the Rams 307 to 225 and the points. So they have a scoring advantage, even though it doesn't matter as much. And then most importantly, the Rams fan in this group is 7-8 in pick'ems. He's very last and under 500. So how is this Rams pick right here?
How good is it?
How good? How official or how trustworthy is this pick?
It's true.
So after all that, it's going to be a tough defensive game, just like the Super Bowl. I'm saying, just like Lauren said, a late Nick Folk field goal to win the game. Patriots 13, Rams 10.
Patriots got to turn the ball over on the Rams for them to win. I'll tell you that right now. If the Patriots get turnovers, they win the game. If the Rams keep a clean game on offense, it's not going to be close. But if the Rams turn the ball over on offense, the game's over. I'll tell you that right now.
They have to turn the ball over, and Cam has to not turn the ball over because Cam has had
Yeah.
He's been giving the ball away to everybody all year.
That's
So
true. I mean, that's also another big difference that we're talking about that from that Super Bowl. The Rams defense is top 3 in the league right now. You got New Orleans, you got Pittsburgh, and you got the Rams.
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Cam Newton, the receivers are already average at best, and now you're
who's he gonna throw
matching.
to?
That's what now you're matching them up with Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. And our secondary quarterback or our cornerback on the guy on the other side is the touchdown in 2 straight games.
Yeah. Also,
Right.
side note, we've heard about the duo of Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. We have a duo of our own on a secondary, Gilmore and Jackson. So this pretty much, if the Rams don't run the ball well, they're gonna have a tough time playing the Patriots.
They need to run the ball well.
Yeah.
But
here,
established
the-
here.
There's
the
a lot of
Rams'
lockup.
third and fourth pass catching options are just as good as the Patriots' first and second receiving options, though.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds, Gerald Everett, Tyler
Van
Higbee,
Jefferson out of
Right.
the first year rookie, he's just as good as anybody else.
like I would take those 4 probably over anybody that the Patriots have on the catching balls.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a good game, man. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be. I hope personally, I hope it's a blowout because I don't want to sit there and struggle and sweat. But it's the Patriots. They always play the Patriots tough. The Patriots play everybody tough, and they're coming off a 45-point blowout. So
Plus
how they
Belichick is
feeling? They're
undefeated
feeling hot.
today.
But also the Rams are feeling hot, coming off a big divisional win. They're in first place in the NFC West as well. So it's gonna be a good game. We got a lot of factors here. It's gonna be a good game.
Right.
And I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you one other thing too. If the New Orleans Saints lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, I am tearing Lawrence up on any social media anywhere. Facebook.
Yep.
Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter,
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram,
It-
anything.
It's the roast session of a lifetime.
links down
if the Saints
below.
lose.
It shit is so
Lifestyle.
crazy, bro. Like, for what?
Because he's a
Because-
week-to-week fan, so
Yeah.
we
I
can't
just had
say
to break.
nothing.
Listen,
Week-to-week
listen.
fan.
I was inspired by Neil having stats, so I had to. I feel like I gotta partake in that. Y'all mad at me?
No, that wasn't a stat. That was just a. When's the last time you play? When's the last time you play?
Yo, listen, it's all right, bro. Stop being so emotional about how you feel about the Saints, okay? All right, time will pass. We're gonna see each other again. Don't worry, we'll see each other again.
I would love to see a playoff matchup.
Greg's
That
your
would
line,
get
baby.
fucking blown out. That's what's gonna happen. But going from there, man, we had one in the. Listen, you can laugh all you want.
I just laughed at Kenny's face. You.
Oh,
Kenny's face.
nah, I look down. I'll run it back on
Oh.
YouTube.
Kenny's that
But-
face.
But we had the Giants and the Seahawks play in
Thank you,
Seattle.
Giants. Thank you.
In Seattle
With Colt
And-
McCoy.
And that defense, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. He had nothing to do with the game.
Still had a
But
play.
no, but that's the point.
That's what I mean.
That's the point.
That's what I mean.
No, but what I was gonna get to the most important part was how they contained Russell Wilson through the entire game. What'd you guys think of that game if you tuned in or anything like that?
I'll say the same thing that I said about Pittsburgh, though. The Giants are 5-7, tied for first in their division. If you look at the games they lost, they played everybody closest to except for one time. Their defense is an elite defense. So if this ends up being a game, obviously Seattle lost, you can look back at it if Giants make the playoffs, they lost to a playoff team. Again, should they have lost this game? Probably not, especially being that you're home. I'll give you that. But if the Giants end up being a playoff team and you lost the game to a playoff team, I don't think people should be reacting as crazy as they are because it's not like the Giants are terrible. We're not. They didn't lose the New York Jets. They lost to the Giants, who yes, were down Daniel Jones, down Saquon, but we've seen them play people tough all year long, and we know that defense is an elite defense.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, if they listen, one thing is scary about them. They got some names on defense. They got like 3. If they go and get another person, because it's a big market on that defense,
Leonard Williams, Blake Martinez.
because they're coached really well too.
They played that game. Blake Martinez was hurt for most of the game.
He's a monster.
Also, yeah,
One
he's
of the
leading
best
tackler,
backers
one
in-
of the leading tacklers in the NFL.
Yeah, for the past 2 years, even with
He
the
might
Packers
actually
too.
lead the NFL in tackles.
Yeah.
He might actually.
He's a tackle machine.
Yeah.
The guy's a monster. But Phil, what'd you think of the game?
I mean, it's pretty much. Who do we think this game says more about, Seattle or the Giants? Because the Giants' defense has been incredibly underrated this year. They've probably allowed less than maybe 14, 15 points a game, like the last 3 or 4 weeks. Like maybe
Mm,
even
I
less.
don't know.
Because I think I saw it on TV, or they're mentioning it like during the post game, that the Giants have been like really limiting teams points wise, and Seattle's just been up and down this whole season. Some games they're been struggling. Some games they're showing why they're like one of the best teams in the NFL. But you really got to tip your hats off to the Giants. They just really they're making the most of what they got with all those
Mhm.
injuries and playing in the NFC East. They're just trying to make the playoffs. So I was just really surprised by the game.
Yeah, I think it, like, to your question of who it shows more of,
Yeah.
I think it's more of the Giants. It's putting them on display as far as their defense goes. We started to already see kind of Seattle unravel when Russell he's not having an amazing game or turns the ball over. The defense can't compliment him well enough to get the ball back and things like that. So we kind of seen gaps in their pretty much their games. So I think it says more about the Giants defense,
Yeah,
how serious it is.
together.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier in the year. I thought the Giants defense was legit. I called it early. I saw what they did to the Rams offense. They were legit then. They're legit now. It definitely shows more about Seattle than it does the Giants. We knew the Giants defense was good. Seattle had to come out and play a good game, and they didn't do it. Not only did they not play a good game, but Seattle's run game is non-existent. They literally have a non-existent run game, and they expect to get to the playoffs with a non-existent run game. I don't think so. It's going to be a drop back, make Russell make some passes to two wide receivers because that's all they have.
David Moore is decent.
Granted, they have two very good wide receivers, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf is leading the league in the NFL and yards this year. So it's not like he's got scrubs he's throwing the ball to, and it's Russell Wilson too. It definitely shows more that Seattle is on a decline, and they have been since that Buffalo game. I said it on the podcast that they lost to Buffalo.
They're sitting at 8-4.
8-4, yeah, but they've lost to the Rams, so they are in second place in the NFC West because Rams have the matchup, but they still have to play them again. So at the end of the year, they could win the NFC West still, depending on how that matchup goes with the Rams. But I said it the day they lost to Buffalo that Seattle was exposed, and I live by that statement. Seattle's been exposed since that game. Shout out to the Giants.
I also think that this furthers the argument that this is not Russell Wilson's MVP anymore.
Nope.
I think pretty much, in my opinion, hands down at this point, it's got to be Pat Mahomes. If you think about it, earlier in the year, we were saying, is it Pat, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers? Then Aaron Rodgers fell off, and it was, is it Pat or Russell Wilson? Then Russell Wilson fell off. Pat or Kyler Murray. The name was been there the whole time. Has been Pat Mahomes. So I think it's his MVP award at this point.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. I also like the Aaron Rodgers pick as well because how many games have the Green Bay's lost 2 games this year, right?
Yeah, no, I like that pick too. Just I feel like his name fell out of the argument for a little bit.
I think.
And consistently, we've been talking about Pat. Yeah, they got 3 losses.
Yeah, they got 3 losses. Yeah.
Well,
what about Josh? Y'all don't like Josh Allen? If he keeps playing at this level,
that's another good pick.
4 TDs and 350 per, like. He's out there. He's at almost at 70% too.
That's a definite. That's an official pick.
Yeah.
I think because it's Buffalo 1, so anytime Buffalo makes the playoffs, whoever's leading that team is going to get looked at as a leader and as a position for awards. And also, Pat Mahomes won the MVP because he was the MVP of the league that year. You know what I mean? There was no doubt about it. Pat Mahomes deserved to be the MVP of the league. Now this year, like you said, like Kenny said, we are looking around and we're looking at names. We got
no choice.
Yeah, we have.
What has he got? What has he got? 2 picks? Maybe 3?
Pat.
Yeah, he's got like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 picks.
2 picks.
Yeah, so he's got. I mean, the picks, but I mean, if you throw the ball.
No, I'm saying that's still I'm saying as a good thing.
Definitely 100%. It's impressive.
He's not turning the ball over.
But I just think if you throw him in, stat wise with Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen, it's not as easy as an MVP vote as it was when he won it last year. That's all I'm saying. Or 2 years ago. I mean, sorry. Yeah, 2 years ago.
So going from there, we had I don't know who else picked the Chargers with me. Who picked the Chargers with me last week against the Patriots? Damn. Oh, so we were back all against. Oh yeah, we did. We said they didn't have a chance.
Yeah, we not only did we say they didn't have a chance, but
What
Yeah.
else was said? I forgot. I just wanted to.
Yeah,
say.
we-
No, I said they didn't have a chance.
Yeah,
I'm not-
I'll say it too.
I'm not gonna apologize. I didn't think that.
Oh, I'm not apologizing, but I'm man up. I know what I said. I said what I said.
So-
Wait,
If
also,
I went
I
back
said-
in time, I'd say it again.
I said to bet the under, and you still would have made your bet. By the way, just so you know.
Oh my god! And if the Chargers scored any type of touchdowns, but did y'all tune into that game at all?
Not at
Like,
all.
Not at
For
all.
about 10 seconds.
For about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
There was nothing to watch after they went up by multiple touchdowns.
It was a very tiny game.
All right, so Phil, this is your time right now. Patriots at 6-6. What do you think that game told you about your team at this point in the season?
I mean, they're capable of having that big performance, even though, I mean, regardless, I guess it's the Chargers, but Justin Herbert is still like one of the premier rookie quarterbacks, and he's still good, even though they scored 0 points that game. We just got to remember that we can't discredit everyone on the Chargers, but we can discredit Anthony Lynn because he should have been fired maybe a long time ago.
Bad coach.
Get him out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad coach.
this game was basically just showing the Patriots' strengths and basically how to beat them. If they're struggling running, the Patriots lost the game right there. So they might struggle next week, but as of this game, basically the three key ingredients for the Patriots were defense, running, and special teams. You saw 2 special team touchdowns off of the Chargers, a blocked field goal, and I forgot what the other one was. There was 154 or 160 rushing yards from Cam, a whole bunch of running backs, and they forced a lot of turnovers, a pick or two, a fumble. It's just the perfect game that the Patriots needed to help boost their playoff chances.
Do you feel like Bill is just trying to hold on with Cam and get rid of him after the season's over?
I mean, it honestly depends how the rest of the season plays out, because Bill's not gonna want to tank the season like everyone thought he was gonna do. He just wants to see what he can win with now. If they have a successful playoff outing, like maybe a low wild card and maybe in the first or second round of the playoffs, then he'll probably keep Cam around. But if he shows that there's no winning with Cam in the playoffs,
Yo, wait. Phil loves to cover his bases. Low wild card in first or second round. If you're a wild card, you're automatically in the first round. So stop. Commit to something, damn it.
hold on. Hold on.
I'm sorry. I'm right or wrong.
What was the last one he said about the low draft pick or something?
No,
Yeah, either barely make the playoffs or a good draft
Or
pick.
good draft pick.
Bro, there's no listen, you either lottery or you make the playoffs. Like it's not no in between. Like, there's no gray area.
I'm saying when they make the playoffs, I'm saying if you see them go into the first and second round and have good outings during those rounds, then yeah, keep Cam. But
which round? The first or second round? Because if you make the playoffs, you're already in the first round.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
If they have a good showing in the first round, like maybe.
Bro, just say if they get to the 7th seed, bro.
So Phil, if you so I think what he's saying is like if Cam, like obviously they make the playoffs, they make the wild card, the first round, Cam plays good, right? Cam plays good, but they lose the second round. Do you think that Bill will still want to keep Cam? Yes or no?
I'd probably keep him around. I give him maybe a 1 or 2 year deal just to see what's going on, because there's no way where they're going to get.
I mean, they're not getting unless they
Trevor Lawrence or
draft
Justin
picks up,
Fields.
which New England doesn't do.
Yeah, but guess what? There's going to be 2 very good quarterbacks that are on the board that are going to be out there, and probably Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
They're
for
both
sure.
going to be available.
For sure.
Wait, Sam is up?
Well, they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. You think that they're going to keep Sam Darnold
yeah,
around?
True. That is true. I don't like Darnold.
I think he's all right.
I think he's all right. I just don't.
I think he's going to be good when he's not with Adam Gase.
Name me one offensive weapon that Sam Darnold has. Can anybody name one player on that team?
Jamison Crowder, Denzel Mims. You got Harridan, the tight end.
Those are weapons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's what we got.
I know, but I'm saying those are like
Jamison Crowder. He had some big games this year. So
because he's forced to on any other team, he's a 4th option at best.
Mims is a rookie too, so like we don't know.
Denzel Mims is a bright spot for sure. Denzel Mims is a bright spot, but
also
they don't have any superstar a weapon. That's
Exactly.
Right.
And
No.
Denzel Mims, I don't think he's been there 1 week since Sam Darnold has been. Like they haven't been healthy at the same time.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's been
last
out.
week. Last week was the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the first time they played together.
I mean, listen,
And they should have won that game, but Greg Williams purposely blew it. So
that's why he's fired.
That was wild.
If we're talking about, I mean, we're talking about the Patriots. Or are we talking about the Jets? What are we talking about right now?
Patriots. I was
Talk
just
about the Patriots. I think for sure that was an impressive showing by the Patriots, like 100%. I mean, anytime you can blow a team out and put up 0 points on their defense, put up 0 like that, it's impressive. I still think that the offense is bad, very bad offense, and a lot of it stems from the quarterback. The quarterback play has been mediocre to bad. They rely on the defense, which is hard to do in football nowadays. It's an offensive game, so it's real hard to rely on your defense to win your games nowadays. But it worked out for them. 45-0 is nothing to stick your nose up at. That's for sure. If the Patriots play a perfect game like that again, they're in the playoffs, and that's just the fact.
Yeah, I mean, super impressive. Like you said, 45-0. Like you can't sit here and say that it's not impressive. I just think the 45 points are fool's gold when you're trying to attribute that to the offense, because it wasn't the offense that did it. Their special teams played a big handed, their defense played a big handed. But 45 points is impressive no matter which way you cut it up. But you can't say that this proves that the Patriots offense is back on track.
Right.
Because I went and I saw that box score. And I was like, Cam went crazy.
Yeah.
I said, I looked at the box score. What is this?
How many offensive points were scored?
Coming from
he was like 9. What was he, 9 for 16 for like 86 yards or something like that?
Yeah, but he had 3 rushing touchdowns or 3 total touchdowns. So I think he passed for 1 maybe.
Oh.
And he rushed for 2. But yeah, coming from a Cam Newton fantasy football owner in a 2-quarterback league, I'm thinking 45 points. Oh, Cam went nutty too. Then I look at my
points.
Like what game was I watching?
Didn't get the total for the Patriots defense and special teams.
Yeah, that was
right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was impressive for them. It's just, to me, like I said, it doesn't do much for me about their offense, because they're relying on everyone else to make big plays for them.
How attractive is that Chargers head coaching job? Is it
super attractive?
What?
Super attractive.
Pieces. What?
Exactly, because
you got 3 running backs. Oh,
my thing is, if you had competent coaching there right now, they'd be competitive out west.
Listen, you got obviously one
Mike
superstar
Williams,
receiver.
Keenan Allen.
Mike Williams is on his way to being a stud. If you
Hunter Henry's a great tight end. Justin
healthy.
Herbert is proven he's going to be a guy in this league for a long time.
Defensive pieces too. And
really good.
Derwin James when he comes back. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram.
Yep.
I don't know how long Ingram's gonna be there, or Bosa's gonna stay there. Ingram might be out because he's injured like every time he steps on the field.
Yeah, you're right, but they're so bad this year. They're gonna have a high enough draft pick to get an edge rusher in the draft.
Yeah, they could get somebody.
So
that's true.
Yeah,
the Clemson or Bama.
It's like, yes, sure. That's a really like, I look at it like this. Sure, it's a really, really nice house, right? You're gonna go buy that house, but then you find out somebody just got murdered in that house. You still buying the house and you moving in? That's the thing.
Is that a good analogy?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it is for that team.
I think so for that team.
You think murdered? But murdered is like Houston. That's
Yes, because they have attractive pieces with Deshaun Watson, but then you get there and realize you have nothing else to build with because you have no draft pick. That is the perfect analogy right there.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Because
you got Deshaun Watson like this, and then he's got nobody behind him.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you see that picture, like, oh yeah, that's my guy. Yeah.
That guy is phenomenal too, man. He's phenomenal. But going from there, man, let's get into we had the Steelers. They were the only undefeated team. They were at 11-0. They were rolling. I don't think they were the most impressive 11-0 team, but they still got there. So what y'all think of the Washington and Pittsburgh game? And Washington, pretty much their defense with 17 first number 1 overall picks, playing defensive end, D tackle, just dominating the game. Like, they're unbelievable.
Well, I picked Washington to win that division, so it's what I expect to see out of them on a weekly basis. Like that's why I picked them, is their defense is good. They're going to win them games that they probably shouldn't win. This is one of them. Did I think that it would happen against the Steelers? No. But when the Steelers are starting, they started the game without their starting running back, without their starting center, without their starting right tackle, without their starting corner, without a starting inside linebacker, without a starting outside linebacker, without a starting kicker, and their quarterback didn't practice all week. And then during the game, they lost their other starting corner and their backup inside linebacker. Washington, if you're a playoff team, that's a game you have to win. So they won the game. They did their job. And Pittsburgh didn't get killed. They played close, and we've seen Pittsburgh play bad games this year, but they've won them. This is just
weren't they up?
Win this one?
Weren't they up by what was it? I think they were up by 2 possessions.
No, I don't think they were up by 2 possessions.
They weren't.
I'm pretty sure it was the most it ever was 17-10.
17-10. Okay, I thought it was.
I
thought
be
it was
wrong.
more than that. Yeah, because I was reading something where they said they had blew it like a 2 possession, not blew it, but like obviously there's a bunch of time left, but.
Yeah, let me look it up before I don't want to get quoted.
But that's bad. That's bad recipe when you're up by 2 possessions and you can't run the football.
Yeah.
That's where being honest, you're starting running back.
Yeah,
well, right.
Washington won 23-17.
So my thing is, right, do y'all feel like, because I'm not really big
Pittsburgh
on
was up 14-0 to start the game.
Okay, I'm not really big on James Conner. Me personally. I know people that like him. Is he that much different than Benny Snell to make a change?
Yes, in the sense of because they can go running back by committee. They don't have any running back there right now that can handle the load by themselves. I don't think that James Conner can come in and like, oh, he's that much better than Benny Snell. But I think that having the combo of both of them, they are both the definition of a running back by committee running back. You cannot rely on them for a full game to win you a game.
Got you. I understand that. Yeah. Because that's what I was kind of, because they were like, oh, James Conner's not here, but I don't see any type of burst from him. He's not elusive.
No, I personally like Benny Snell better than James Conner.
They kind of hang on to the performance he had when Le'Veon Bell was on his contract holdout and try to compare it to that, but he's digressed a little bit since then.
And he's from, I believe he's from
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so
I mean that game, I call Pittsburgh frauds, and I still think they are. I think the record is fraudulent, but a lot of stuff went wrong for Pittsburgh that game. They had 7 drops that game. Eric Ebron had 2, and Deontay Johnson, who leads the league in drops, by the way, had 5 that night as well.
Be hurting my heart in fantasy.
Yeah, and Eric Ebron, who we just know as football fans, just dude cannot catch. He has some games where he can catch the ball, and sometimes where he literally his hands just flap at it, like he just cannot catch the ball. So when your run game's non-existent against an already very good Washington defense, and you're dropping the football, that's a recipe for disaster. Not to mention they had 5 times to get the ball in from the 1 yard line, Pittsburgh, and they couldn't stuff the ball in the end zone. 5 tries at it, they couldn't do it.
Let me ask you something though, Neil, because you said they're frauds in the sense of like, because what have they beaten, whatever, but they've seen the Titans, they beat them. They've seen the Ravens twice. Granted, one time they were injured, but they beat them both times. They played the Browns. They beat them. They killed the Browns 38-7. I mean,
right.
so
right. I'm not. I mean, listen. I haven't been good. I haven't been high on the Titans all year. I don't think they're very good either. Baltimore. We've been saying it since we started the podcast that the book's out on Lamar Jackson and who's he got for weapons. He's got Hollywood, who's glass. Lawrence, he literally called him Glass Man. They have
yes.
It's. I mean, every team that you just brought up to me, and you said it yourself. Cleveland, you said as frauds that they're not even going to make the playoffs.
Right.
So what gives here?
But if we're going to do that, then we're going to say that the Chiefs are probably the best team then. So let's 100%. Go look at who the Chiefs. So let's look at who the Chiefs beat then, just by your logic. If that's what we're gonna. Yes. If that's what we're gonna say.
Well, before you say anything, I don't think the AFC is good at all this year. I don't think
because the Chiefs ain't beat nobody. They've beaten the Texans, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Pats, lost 100%. To the Raiders. Lost or beat the Bills. That's the one good game they have.
Yeah.
They lost to beat the Broncos, beat the Jets, beat the Panthers, beat the Raiders, and beat the Bucks.
So
beat the Broncos again.
I personally think that Buffalo is the best team in the AFC. I think that Buffalo is the best team in the AFC. I think they have a more impressive record, and I think they have a better schedule.
Yo, y'all are losing your mind right now. We're talking about. He said, "All right, so I'm a cross reference the Chiefs schedule. The Chiefs,
Well, no, it's a good point though
bro.
because
Well, no, well, not, but if you're gonna
Best
say the
in
Bills,
league.
Bills beat
The Chiefs
the
are
Niners, the
best in
Chargers,
AFC, bro. Like,
the Seahawks. So I guess the Bills do have the better ones when you look at it.
I mean
But
the Bills.
but then they lost to the Chiefs.
The Bills were a Kyler Murray Hail Mary away from sweeping the best division in football this year. Let's not forget about that. They would have swept the NFC West this year if it wasn't for Kyler Murray's Hail Mary.
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
So, I mean, I'm just saying that, but they played well enough that game to win that game. I mean, anytime you
That's
lose
pretty
it
much
to a Hail
right.
Mary, you chalk it up as a, oh, well, on to the next one. But I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC, and I don't think the AFC will win the Super Bowl this year. The AFC has been weak, very weak for the past couple of years now, except for the Chiefs. I don't think there's much over there. I really don't. So, Pittsburgh's frauds. Get them out.
I mean, you could say that the AFC's been weak, but they're always top heavy because they win the Super Bowl. They won it last year. They won it the year before.
Well,
They lost it that year, then they won it the year before that, and won it the year before that.
Yeah, but every year you're talking about the Patriots, though. That's the thing.
Oh, but it's not. They're top heavy. So now it's the cheat. So
Right.
I wouldn't go as far as say the AFC is not going to win because the AFC is weak.
I don't think
they're just top
I
heavy.
don't. I personally don't think that the Chiefs are that good this year. The Steelers are not good this year, and the Buffalo Bills are. And if you're talking about Buffalo,
Rams can beat them both, right?
Nah, we're not talking about that. If you're talking about the Buffalo Bills being the best team in the AFC, then that's trouble.
Oh, nah.
Well, I don't think we are. I think you are, but I don't think anyone else is having that conversation.
I say Buffalo and Kansas City 1 and 2, and then I don't Pittsburgh. What are you doing for me? I don't think you got anything for me.
But listen, anybody can be beaten on any given
Any day.
Sunday,
Any Sunday.
Thursday.
I agree.
It don't matter. Like, Cowboys getting whooped right now. Like, they're getting whooped right now. Anyway, but
that was my pick to win the NFC East. My pick ain't looking too good.
But going from there, man, we're gonna start off with Kenny, man. We're gonna have to see how you felt about the Browns playing the Titans and just steamrolling down the hill immediately.
Smoked them.
I told you
first quarter out the gate.
I told you guys I was willing to eat crow because I was wrong, and I was wrong. The Browns came out hot and heavy, and were demolishing them. It wasn't even pretty. But the final score, they only won by 6 points.
I was gonna say, Kenny, I wanted to ask you that. What do you think that second half comeback is more indicative of the Browns?
Yes, that tells you that is why I don't believe in the Browns.
That game, Kenny had PTSD. That's what happened.
Yes, but no,
look at them now.
Yeah, they're gonna blow it. They're gonna blow it. Yeah, but that's my thing. This is why I can't trust the Browns. You were killing them in every aspect of the game. It was never in doubt. And then you look up at the clock,
and you're like, oh,
in the fourth quarter, and you're like, oh, the Titans might actually win this football game. Right. The Titans should have never been in this game. Especially the Titans' offense is heavily reliant on Derrick Henry. We have to give the ball to him to win the game. So if the Titans ever go down by 2 touchdowns, the other team should be putting the W in their win column. Because if Ryan Tannehill has to beat you, and he beats you, you deserve to lose every football game you ever play in.
And he almost did because Corey Davis went off.
Yes.
I had Corey Davis in fantasy.
And yes, Ryan Tannehill has had a sneaky good year. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy, but I'm not putting my money on Ryan Tannehill to win me a football game ever.
Am I betting on him?
Not to win me a game. No, I bet on the Titans to win because of Derrick Henry. But once they get down by 2 touchdowns, chalk that one up as an L, buddy.
Oh, man.
I'm with Kenny on everything on that, by the way, everything he said.
Since we're talking about suspect quarterbacks, it's been one of the hot topics. I think top 3 since last year, late.
Disrespectfully, though, to be honest. You know what I mean, Lawrence? Like, it's kind of disrespectful to Carson Wentz. The man has a Super Bowl ring. I know he didn't play, but he's got a ring.
So
he got him there.
Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts and the psychotic fans of Philadelphia that are very, very, very emotional, and they do not deserve to win any fucking thing. If you ask me, they do not know how to act at any turn of winning at all. And this is the product of them winning. That they're calling for their quarterback that they paid $2 billion to be removed, not knowing that it would decimate your team.
It's bad.
Yes, because
that is my thing. They want him gone, but little do you know, you won't be able to get any Justin Jeffersons being able to keep him or anybody.
Kenny, what did you say a couple weeks ago? That winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles sounds stupid, but winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles was the worst.
Was the worst thing that could happen to them.
Unless your organization has a plan in place,
right?
Like people,
their plan was to run it back.
Like it's like what happens when people get money and they get crazy.
You need to look. Everybody needs to look at the Patriots because they did it the right way for year after year. They said we're winning. You either fucking take this money so we can keep it going or leave.
Well, now
what do? They stay
long wise, but
yeah, but still, like you're able to win 6 championships.
Yeah, right, you were a dynasty since the year 2000. If it ends in 2020, that was 20 years. I mean, I'll take a 20-year dominant spread to have 1 or 2 down years.
And they take care of the people that are there. Like eventually, they find a way to take care of them. So
the real numbers here, because we're always throwing numbers around with this contract for Carson Wentz.
It's 58.
He signed in June 2019. He signed a 4-year contract extension through 2024 for $109 million guaranteed dollars.
So last summer,
right? So the 4th most in the NFL at the time. If not on the roster in 2021, it cost the Eagles $59.2 million on the salary cap.
Crippling.
If not on the roster in 2022, it cost the Eagles $24.5 million on the salary cap. So if you're going to cut your losses, it's going to be in year 2. It's going to be in that 2022 year. You know what I mean?
Even then, it's still, I mean, yeah, but I'm not doing it. I look at it like this. Because I'm not trading you away somewhere where I'm paying your contract to watch you play well somewhere else. I refuse to do it. So if I'm not going to use you, since Jalen Hurts is still on a 2nd-round rookie contract, I'm keeping Carson Wentz around as a backup, if anything. I can't in good faith, because if I'm going to have to pay you $60 million next year to go play quarterback somewhere else, you're going to be on my team. You're going to be holding the clipboard, do something, because I'm not paying you $60 million while you're collecting a smaller check from somewhere else, because I'm paying you $60 million and you're winning them football games. It's not going to happen.
So my next question here is, where do you guys see Carson Wentz playing in 2 years?
Well, there's 2 places that make a lot of sense to me that if you were to go next year, 2 years would still even make sense. One, to go get reunited with Frank Reich, his offensive coordinator in Indianapolis, because Phillip Rivers is old. Yep. Go to Indy with Frank Reich. That was your offensive coordinator of the year that you had your MVP year. Makes too much sense.
He's going to be upright for 95% of the game. He ain't going to get sacked.
That's what I'm saying. You put him there in his old offense behind a decent line. That'll be scary. And then the other one that just clicked to me today was going to Pittsburgh, going down the street, because he's Ben Roethlisberger light. He does stupid things that he should never do, but when they work out, they're beautiful. It just hasn't worked out in Philly because he hasn't had weapons around him. Give him a Juju, give him Deontay Johnson, give him Claypool, give him James Washington. He's going to make plays. He's going to make things happen.
I think my 3 top landing spots for Carson Wentz. Number 1, I'm going to go New England Patriots, because I think Bill Belichick is biting his fingernails to get him some Carson Wentz over in New England for sure. And I think number 2, Denver Broncos. I think that they're out on Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock is still a starting quarterback in the league. I just don't think he's a starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. You need a strong arm to play in Denver in that cold weather environment. You need a strong arm to play in the playoffs there. Carson Wentz has a cannon. We all know that.
Wait, hold on. You don't watch him? Who? Drew Lock.
If we're comparing him to Carson Wentz is a fucking cannon on his arm. The man can toss.
Drew, that's one of the biggest parts of Drew's game.
I personally think Carson Wentz can throw the ball far. He's a better thrower of the ball, and he has a stronger arm.
More accurate deep, or
he's just a better thrower of the ball, especially deep balls. And
they don't call him walk. Uncle Shay don't call him walk it to him once for no reason.
I don't know why.
That ball's on a string. He walks it to him.
So
I like Drew. I like Drew though. I like Drew.
And number three is the Colts. Kenny hit it on the head. But if the Colts get Carson Wentz, that leaves another quarterback in the room in the Colts office. What's going to happen to our man over there? He's a starting quarterback. Where's he going to go?
Reset.
Yeah, what's Kobe going to do?
That might be the only thing. That might be the only thing that deters Carson Wentz from wanting to even go to Indy. Do I want to get into another situation where there's another capable quarterback in the room? Because I've been dealing with it my whole career.
100% going to look at that.
Right.
For sure.
And I mean, you're also looking at Detroit. Looks real good. Looks real good for Carson Wentz.
I'm not going there.
Why not? You got Marvin Jones. You got
Stafford gets hit more than me.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing though.
Like,
They just cleaned house though. They got rid of their GM.
Yeah,
They
that's
got rid of their head
another
coach.
thing, yeah,
So
right.
they're starting from scratch.
Irreplaceable.
If you truly believe in the next regime that's coming in,
you got to draft.
then you can think about it.
Right. You got to draft. I mean, that's why it's a long shot, but Detroit and then a super long shot, San Francisco 49ers. Super long
San
shot.
Fran's going to be in on any
Ooh.
quarterback that becomes available.
wait, you
Yeah.
got Debo that catches everything.
Right.
Yeah. Also, another landing spot that didn't get mentioned yet.
Ayuk too.
Yep, the Saints. We don't know how long it might be. Drew's
Great
last-
point. That's a
next
great
year.
point, Phil.
Mm,
I know. Lord, I mean,
It depends. It depends on how the money is because you got
Right. I was
everybody,
gonna say,
everybody from that draft
Well-
class with Lattimore is due.
But that's the
Marcus
thing, though,
Williams,
is
money's coming up.
there's a
If-
lot of scenarios here where Carson Wentz is going to be paid by Philadelphia, and you're not going to have
Yes.
to worry about his salary.
True.
right.
True.
Like if they trade him this offseason, New Orleans can be in on it because that means that Philly has to get his contract. If we're talking 2 years down the road where you got to sign him in free agency, New Orleans might not be in on it depending on how they handle these next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
they're-
having Thomas and Sanders could really be helpful for New Orleans as well.
And then
Oh,
what's
for
the name
sure.
will be gone too. Well, not be gone, but his contract will be up. Taysom
Jameis?
Yeah,
Hill.
Taysom,
Or
exactly.
Taysom
Okay.
Hill. Taysom
Okay.
Hill will be at the end of his.
and then that leaves another thing too, is Jameis Winston.
Right, but he's on a 1-year deal.
Right. So, okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So he's done. He's on a year-to-year basis. We don't know where he's going to end up.
So just a couple of scenarios for Carson Wentz, for example. If they cut Carson Wentz before March 20th, 2021, they lose $24 million and they get hit with $59 million of dead money.
They're not doing that.
Right.
Nope.
If they cut between March 20th and June 1st, 2021, they get $74 million of dead money on their cap and they lose $39.5 million.
They're not gonna do that.
Okay.
See,
so how
So
about this
Eagles
one?
fans out there, Eagles fans that you're emotional. I hope you guys are listening to this portion of it. Stop crying. Want Carson Wentz for your quarterback until he's done. Because if he's not, or if you guys want him literally gone off the team, you won't have a team.
The best scenario for Eagles fans out there, if they don't want Carson Wentz, is to cut him after June 1st, 2021. They'll be hit with $34.6 million of dead money, but they won't gain. It'll just be a zero gain. It won't
Pretty much just be a
loss or
mental.
But
zero.
see, but at that point, if you've held on to him until June 2021, just to eat the rest of the contract,
Yeah.
what's the
that's-
sense of it at that point?
That's true. I mean, you could trade him before March 20th, 2021. If they trade him before March 20th, 21, they'll be hit with $33.8 million of dead money, but they'll save $850,000.
Now that brings me to my next point. Now we're saying we got the fans crying for Hurts. Does he stay the quarterback? Do you guys think he's good enough yet?
Well,
Sure. You mean if they get rid of Wentz, or do you mean for the rest
Yeah.
of the year?
Do you think they'll rock with Hurts?
I think it depends on the last couple games of the season. We'll see what he does.
Right. And I think this is extremely unfair to Jalen Hurts because that offense is nowhere near 100%.
Yeah.
That offensive line is garbage. There's not really a lot of weapons around him.
Nothing.
Like this week, he's playing against one of the top defense in the league. Like you're throwing him in there to the wolves.
Literally,
if-
literally the number one defense in the league.
Right. So if he plays poorly, this is not a reflection on Jalen Hurts. We're not going to get a fair assessment of him.
Right.
I can't
the
wait
flip
for
side-
I can't wait for Demario Davis to run through his fucking rib cage.
On the flip side, we only got a couple weeks left. So let's say Jalen Hurts has a good solid 4 or 5 weeks. They don't make the playoffs, even if they do make a little run there because this division is trash. Is it really a true test of how good Jalen Hurts is? Because it's 5-week sample size and no one has seen any tape on him because he hasn't played any football. So if you're going to base your quarterback of the future on 5 weeks, you deserve to be terrible for the rest of eternity. Because if Jalen Hurts is good for 5 weeks and they come off of Carson Wentz and then Jalen Hurts sucks next year, they deserve everything they ever get.
Garoppolo.
So the one thing that this does for sure, this puts to bed all of the conversation about that draft, the 1 and 2 pick from that draft, for sure. Though for how many years since that draft was established and everybody was talking about the Rams trading up to get Goff or switching between Goff and Wentz or whatever, it was, Wentz is the better quarterback, Goff's the better quarterback, who's this, who's that. This for sure puts it to bed now. Jared Goff is the better quarterback of that draft class. Jared Goff was the best pick out of that draft class as between Wentz and Goff. And this season proves it.
Flashback to when I said the Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco 2.0.
Yeah.
What happened to Joe Flacco? Oh, he got benched for a younger mobile quarterback. Oh, wait, what just happened to Carson Wentz? Oh, he got benched for a younger, more mobile quarterback. We're watching it play out
How old
again.
is Carson Wentz? 27?
26.
No, yeah, I mean he's way younger than Joe Flacco was when he got benched, but just
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Carson Wentz is done in this league.
No, not at all.
Not even close. He needs a fresh start. His marriage with Doug Peterson, his marriage with that franchise is over. And you could see the fighting and the affair start to happen as soon as they put that fucking statue up. As soon as they put that statue up with Nick Foles, it was over.
But I don't even think it's Doug Peterson that doesn't want Carson Wentz. I think Doug Peterson wants Carson. But I think that Doug Peterson's days are numbered as well.
I think I also I don't think you can get rid of a Super Bowl winning head coach. I don't think you can.
You can if he keeps losing like he has.
That's why I think Doug Peterson right now is desperate. I think he's real desperate, and that's why he's doing anything that the front office says.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's caving to them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're saying we want to see Jalen, so he's saying, okay, I'll let you see Jalen, but he's setting Jalen up for failure by making him play against the Saints for his first start.
Yeah, he's like, I'll
give you what you want, but here you go.
Here's the New Orleans Saints. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said earlier in the episode, this week I'm really excited for. I love when it gets this time because it's just you're gonna see teams starting to dwindle out of the picture, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Any last words from y'all for this week? Week 4 we got week 14, right?
Week 14. This is a pivotal week for a lot of teams, especially a lot of our teams here. I mean, not really you, Lawrence, but Phil and I for sure.
No, it's still pivotal. We want that 1 seed. Get the.
You're playing the Eagles with Jalen Hurts.
I'm saying we need that. We need that bye. Got to win by any means. But yeah, go ahead.
For anybody out there who's a gambler, Justin Herbert just put up a dud, 0 points against the Patriots. He gets to bounce back against the beautiful Atlanta Falcons defense this week.
If he didn't get right, game Falcons.
Yeah. So that's what Steve Smith calls us the get right team. And the first time I heard it, I was like, yeah. He's like, because if you need to get better or you need to get right, play the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. So yeah, Justin Herbert's about to get right.
Oh man!
So if your fantasy playoffs start this week and you're debating should I play Justin Herbert after last week, yes.
Ice up, son. Ice up. That's a classic right there.
Ice up, son.
Any last words, Phil?
I mean, basically, yeah, like what you said. This upcoming next couple weeks is going to really determine who's going to be fighting for the playoffs. I know the Patriots need all the help they can get. They can win and they need help from everyone else. So it's basically going to be who's sorting out who's the real and who's the fake. So it's going to be an interesting couple weeks.
You're gonna go to the ESPN app and put reminders on all the games you need.
I'm doing it after this.
Bro, it gets like that sometimes. You be sitting there in the second quarter praying at the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah, we're for Chiefs this week. So
yeah,
fantasy
man.
basketball, boys. The IBTE Fantasy Basketball League is almost full.
Yep.
It's getting there. But in the last words from me, like I said, I appreciate you guys. Can't thank y'all enough for being consistent with me. It means a lot. And anybody listening, watching, go and follow all of our pages at IBTE Network. We got some special things coming. I'm going to meet up with all my boys just to discuss everything a little bit more and what's next for everything that's to come. We need to do an actual like a trivia game for us too. I want to do that. I think that'd be fun. We got to put that together. But I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. And this concludes another episode of Inspired by True Event Sports Podcast.
Subscribe.